G'day, friends and fans. Welcome to Writing Corner. I'm your host, the author David Applegate, author of the books The Boyhood Arcade, Power Games, and Into the Owl's Mound. Before I begin, I'd like to thank the patrons and other supporters who help make this channel possible and invite you to join them. You can join them through you can join them on Patreon, Locals. All the links are in my link tree, or the description below. Links are QR code, link tree, QR code to the link tree on the screen. And I also ask that you please share the video out and let people know we're here, please, and thank you. Just excuse me a moment while I share out the video, let people know we're here. I really appreciate the support and hope that more of you will join and help make us a growing community. Your feedback is welcomed. All right, finish sharing out the video. All right. Foreshadowing. Literary devices, basically word constructs, of which there are many. And one which you'll really need to master is foreshadowing, particularly if you're into long, drawn-out dramas, some kind of fantasy where foretelling is actually used. Foreshadowing, if used sparingly, can be incredibly effective at captivating an audience. However, if the clues are too obvious, the audience might become too discouraged, too subtle, and they might miss it altogether. Because in my first book, a lot of people missed the foreshadowing, and I apologize. However, it can be direct or indirect, hinting at events to come. Examples of direct foreshadowing can be found in Macbeth, where the witches tell Macbeth his fate, something I should have done. Whereas indirect foreshadowing, which I have relied on, is found in the foretelling events such as the Return of the King in The Lord of the Rings. Actually, one of the foreshadowing was actually the title. It's a literary device. It's utilized to hint or indicate or an indication of future events in a story. Can be very effective for developing curiosity, intrigue, and suspense, but it's not meant to be narration or a spoiler. To this end, you have 3 rules. 1, you make sure it's relevant to the plot. For example, in James Bond, everything handed to him is relevant to the story and is used at some point during the action. Be subtle. Foreshadowing is for your reader to pick up on the hint without it being obvious. Don't blame the author if you don't get the hint, in other words, but that too is subjective. I mean, foreshadowing is buried in layers and should be. It shouldn't stand out, but it shouldn't be a spoiler. And going back over the book, you go, oh yeah, it's like in James Bond. You go back over the tools that hold, you hand it to him. He's not told what situation to use them in. Well, actually, yeah, except for the tracking device, but you know, timing. This requires practice and getting feedback from advanced readers, because you're going to need to put some distance between foreshadowing and the event. You need to build anticipation, so the longer the anticipation is allowed to build up, the greater the payoff. However, of course, it has to be somewhat be able to figure out that a conversation is foreshadowing, and that it shouldn't be immediate. It should be a build-up. And when it's revealed, the readers will remember the foreshadowing. And then that's it. If they remember the foreshadowing, they remember the story. They were paying attention and they got involved. So I think I could have preferred some more examples there about Marvel and how they basically overuse foreshadowing to the point that they damn make it a fucking scene in every fucking movie. And they make every fucking movie end with foreshadowing. It's to the point of, man, I am so over Marvel. Actually, I was never really a big Marvel fan other than outside of Spider-Man. I was more a DC man myself, Batman, Superman. However, there was a time where I was actually given some Doctor Strange movies, but I was given some action comics, and they were better than the original Batman. Was much better, I think, in many ways. Same with Detective Comics. And of course, Monster Mash. Anybody remembers those? I think they were rather niche, though. Can't seem to find any of them. I hate the fact that somebody stole my comic books. There are just so many wicked people in this world. But I've fallen out of love with comic books. Really, I apologize if that offends you, but I'm so over comics. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Please like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Links in the description below. You can support me at Ko-Fi at Future Fantasy, QR code on the screen. At Patreon, my writing page. You can find all my writing hints at Patreon at David T. Applegate. But of course, you can also support me at my RPG Patreon, Futures Fantasy, and RPG based on my writing. And of course, shout out to the Men's Room and Anime Night, friends of the channel. Check them out. Please buy my books, buy my merch. All my links are in the link tree, description below, or in my profile. Please and thank you. I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.